let's just start with the facts. This is the last video on the channel until February. It's a little bit of bait. I wanted to announce something really exciting that I'll be interning at. Look, it's the Tolarin Community College. I'll be interning there for a month, helping the prof with editing, writing, whatever he needs, getting his beverage of choice. I don't know if he's a coffee drinker or not. Maybe a tea guy. I don't know. I don't know these things. That'll be my job. So for the next 4 weeks, I'll be there. Won't be able to edit. Won't be able to make content. Maybe you might see like a daily life. What's it like working with the prof kind of thing? But you probably won't see that much content. For a lot of the followers of the channel for a long time, you also just kind of noticed that I haven't been posting a while. So I wanted to also take this time to talk about that because the channel isn't gone. I'm not stopping. But I think I've learned a lot of kind of like things about myself. And I just want to talk about it. What it's like being a content creator and all that. And what I like doing. So I guess before I get into that, just really quickly, I am also going to cover some stuff I am working on. I have a couple scripts I've been writing that I'm really excited to turn to videos. I think I recently did a post on the channel about it. One is how to make an engine in Commander. That's like a really big one, really important video, I think. It's a lot of the ways that I think about building Commander decks, and one of the biggest issues I see with people kind of, whenever someone asks like why my deck isn't working, it's because they built the engine wrong. So very easy way to fix that, but I want to talk about it, and it takes time. The other thing actually is surprisingly got really deep into writing, which is kind of where I hit my stop, is talking about card flow. So card flow was one of the new things I learned after competing a lot with the VV Cauldron deck. And we've talked about card flow and card draw, or like in the card draw video, but I really, really wanted to like do a deep dive on integrating more card flow and etc. into Commander deck to make it even better, adopting some more modern or like contemporary, I guess, not modern in the format, contemporary Magic competitive deck design. Like thinking. So, those are two really, really kind of meaty videos that I have mostly written now. I just need to like refine it, and hopefully I can spend that time pouring and do that. Come back, shoot it, edit it, and you'll have it, right? There's a couple other things that's like on the plate that I wanna get done. For my LGS fans, I do have an episode that's actually mostly done. It's just there's a couple little like more complex things I need to do. It's actually quite a complex video given like kind of the normal production. So I just want to do it right. So, I'll get to it when I feel like, I think LGS is a labor of love, and I can only do it when I'm in the mood. But for Commander deck building, we also have our template series I want to finish off. That one I've kind of stopped at the moment because I've kind of hit this kind of holy grail of a question, and it's and I'm gonna say it, and you're all gonna try and answer it, and feel free to leave it in the comments what you think, but it's more complex. The question is basically tying together card draw, land count, and one other thing I can't remember right now. Card advantage, mana advantage was the last one. I can't think of it. Wow, it's been a while. But tying some of the concepts we've done in the template series into like a more holistic kind of theory of everything like video. I was calling it the triangle. Can't remember the third part. It's very annoying now. It's gonna be stuck in my head. But anyways, that one takes a lot of time because I've had side conversations with Mike Flores about this topic, not for Commander, but Magic in general. And I kind of have a theory there. And I'm also talking to like a kind of like a mathematician about this stuff who plays Magic. And I'm also talking to someone else who like came up with the idea for card advantage itself, right? So a lot of input, and basically like I want this one to be like really, really good. And then this is now gonna kind of like dovetail into the next thing. After I get this video done, I'll kind of like do a final kind of like template, quick, if you get started, here's what you should do video. And then we can call that one good, I think. very close. I just want to get the finishing ends right. Nothing's ever perfect, everything can be iterated on. But the thing that kind of made me stop making videos as much is, so recently I quit my job. And I always thought, like, if I have infinite time, I would be I would turn this content creation thing into like a full-time gig, like moderately, maybe like low to moderately successful. I do have a Patreon. I do have a lot of people who do grace me with their time and listen to what I say and all this stuff. And I can turn it into a thing. So I thought, once I don't have that pesky job, that 9 to 5 in the way, I would be pumping out videos every day, doing all that. And then it turns out, actually, I'm making less videos because it turns out my true passion is competing. It's what I love doing. It's the reason why I made this channel. I made the very first video ever because I competed in a CDH tournament. I always told myself I won't be a content creator. It just kind of like happened that way. I thought it'd be funny to do a top 16 video in a certain way, talking about Sisay as a meme, being a part of the community that way, making content for the community. Back then it was a very small community. So when I say community, it's not like this kind of, I think content creators have this like, not fantasy, but this illusion. Like, I'm doing this thing for the community. Like, are you? It depends, depends what you're actually doing. If you're running an event to like make it more welcoming for people and like hosting it and gathering like strangers to come play and foster an actual community, yeah, you're doing a thing. If you're making content to make money, that happens to be somewhat educational, sort of for the community. Like there's gradations for the community. So that's always something I thought was very funny. But when I did it, it was for a very small, basically just a CDH Reddit Discord. It was just jokes for them. It was jokes for like 30 people that they thought was really funny. And like a couple of the competitors, at the time, like we thought it was really funny. And it was great. It was great. Then seeing all the other CDH content creators, we were really small, right? Except for a couple. It was just like a really fun thing to do for a small community of people, right? And then it just kind of like kept going from there. And then, now we're on the Commander, committee format panel thing. So, that's already like kind of such an honor, right? Such a incredible journey. But then when I think about like all the content I'm making, one of the things I really dislike, and this isn't a slight to anyone, all right, is I hate making content for the sake of making content. That's what I realized. I love competing. I love getting better. I love learning like deck building, how to pilot better, all this stuff. I love all of that. But I really, really don't like the idea that I'm pressured into like, oh, I have to make a video every week. Because if I don't make the video, my channel's gonna go, whatever. It's less people are gonna watch. I have to make a kind of clickbaity title and do all this stuff to get maximum engagement, so I can get maximum Patreon dollars and ad dollars and all that stuff. And like, man, I don't care. I don't want to do it that way, And is it less successful? That's fine, but I can't make bait. And I think a lot of Commander content now is bait, right? Do you play this or don't play it? This week you do, next week you don't. Who cares? Who cares, right? Commander is the who cares format. And when I say that, people kind of get upset, but it's a good thing. It's a who cares format, so you can do whatever you want, right? So you can break the rules. There are no rules. You can make a horrible deck and have a good time. That's why Commander's awesome, right? That's why it's a who cares format. It's a good thing it's a who cares format. Because if it's everyone cares, right, to too high of a degree, it'll be CDH. I'm not saying it's bad, all right? I'm just saying it's like a different type of play, right? It's a lot harder to play your janky standard deck at a, standard meetup when everyone's jamming the good deck, right? Because there isn't really a space for you to like play kitchen table like experiences outside the literal kitchen table. Not the literal kitchen table. I don't know if people have kitchen tables anymore, but you get the idea, right? It's the who cares format. And, It's good to have discussions. It's good to have like move that stuff, but I don't want to do that. I like digging into numbers, even though I'm bad at numbers, digging into theories, doing like something really well researched, and just presenting that as, you know, the current kind of level of thinking, right? There's least amount of opinions, you know, I mean, everything is subjective, but like, hopefully it's based on enough experience that whatever I tell you has some sort of fact, like, you know, backing it, right? Like some sort of experience from someone else, right? That's why when I'm telling you all these videos I'm writing and thinking about, I am consulting with a lot of experts in their own different ways so that I can synthesize something, you know, digestible that you can then immediately take forward, maybe add it to your deck, maybe don't, you know, but experiment with it and you know, enjoy deck building, enjoy playing, right? That's the way I want to make content. And, you know, I realize that's just not a good model, right? That's just not how content creation works. We're incentivized to constantly make something, and I don't want to do that. So this is going to get to the channel part. The channels, I'm still going to make all this content. I'm just not going to push myself to release every single week or every single month. Ideally once a month. Let's just at least get that, you know, back into the schedule here. But I only want to make content when I feel like I have something meaningful to write about, right? And, you know, I actually do like making these update videos. I like kind of these videos where I get to talk about stuff and have you guys respond, and I actually get to listen and like bring that back and like, you know, think about new things. All of that I love doing, but I just hate the pressure and the environment that we're kind of in, that like, at least for Commander content, you know, do you play this? Do you play that? I don't know, unless you have a good reason not to, you know, that's kind of it, right? I don't want to engage in that. So that's kind of where it's at. If you check my other channel, my Spiky channel, which I've also actually kind of stopped posting on because I just spend all my time on MTGO now. I recently qualified for my first RC, so I'll be competing in that. I'm also going to Atlanta tomorrow to play in the Spotlight Series for the weekend. I'll be going to RC Portland to last chance qualifier my way in. Like, I'm competing a lot, right? And that's kind of where I'm going to choose to spend my time. But the reason also I love competing, or the reason why I want to compete, is because I think competition and the need to improve and learn gives me the ideas and the backing to then bring it back into Commander and whatever else we need, right? Everything I've like every like kind of recent iteration on how I build my casual Commander decks for fun. I know like I'm kind of known for powerful deck building, but like every little thing I've kind of like iterated on comes from me playing other decks in other formats. My thinking on mid-range control, all of that only comes from me playing control across multiple formats, mid-range across multiple formats. I'm now doing limited more. You know, that actually also impacts it a lot. Like, I just need to play more. Sitting around deck building is nice. I'm, you know, pretty proficient at it. And I have actually a couple other decks I wanna finish out. I have really good ones, really good ones. I can't spoil those. But I also need to compete. I need to compete because that's where my heart is, but also that's what's gonna allow me to come back with better ideas for you all to take forward with your own thing, right? Do you use it in your deck building or not? Doesn't matter. I think it's all matters is that I give you an idea that might spark something else, might spark like a new way to like, you know, a new type of card you might add or stuff like that, or change something, right? That's all that matters, you know, just enjoying the deck building process. So I think that's where I'm going to cap this video for today. I don't want to ramble too long. For those who are watching, for those who still follow the channel, or maybe still new to the channel, you know, thanks for watching. I hope to get those other videos out for you earlier. If you subscribe to the Patreon, I'll probably start posting these scripts there so you can read it at least. I find that I'm actually enjoying the writing process a lot more than the editing process. I've been writing stuff across my Patreon, across elsewhere. You can find it. I don't know, go on my socials and find it. But I think because these scripts are probably helpful to read. I like reading, actually. Ironically, I don't really consume much video content. I love reading. I'm going to start writing more. So maybe that'll be the way that will be the way for me to at least get these ideas out for at least all of you, so you can get it without waiting for me to edit it. But that's it. Let me know what you're up to recently, in magic, in life, whatever. Hope you're all doing well. Happy New Year. And I'll see you very soon. Bye.